Okay, guys, this is experimental. It took me a long time to get this model working, and now I am a VTuber. I've deleted all my videos, and now I'm just gonna rebrand and make this a dedicated Blood Bowl channel. But in doing so, I'm just gonna start using a video model right here. So it took me a lot of effort. So let's see if it works out well enough to keep it around. Um, I'm just going to use this for other channels too. For instance, I'm going to probably play some Xenonauts or XCOM, but I'm going to do that on a different channel just so that it's easier for people to access what they're looking for with me, which is basically Blood Bowl in the past, but I've basically just restarted the whole channel. So right here we have the Kislev Premier Alliance. And what's interesting about the Kislev Premier Alliance before we kick off the ball is that it's all the secret teams across Fumble, which is a Blood Bowl site. It's free to play. It has all the rosters, including these custom built rosters curated by Fumble through Garion primarily is the point of contact if you have any questions about Secret League. But he's generally very busy, so don't just send him 90 questions. But this is a Four Nations team. It's very interesting because they have mass, nerves of steel, and usually catch of some kind. And they're main catchers, but these guys can, of course, get catch as well. And then you're taking on the Clan Pestilence that have mass, disturbing presence, and some guys have foul appearance. One of my favorite skills, foul appearance. So if you have Blodge and then you have foul appearance, it's just another layer of defense. These guys are the bread and butter of this team. The sensors, even though they're strength 7, they're vulnerable to getting knocked out because of the AV8. Just have to get one lucky hit, it feels like. But the Salzenmund Slayers right here, taking on the Praag Profane Pustules, just to say it, their names. They're really good at ball control. Once they have the ball, they're hard to take it away from. As long as there's 2 squares of dispersion, they can pass the ball. It means you can throw right here from this guy, throw right there, throw right there, just with the dump off ability. So that's a lot of fun. The Kislev Premier Alliance is not in competition with the Ulthuan Foot First League. That is the stock elf roster. Stock meaning that all of the rosters have the same access to elves. For instance, a catcher from the high elf team could be mixed in with the pro elf elf. Does that make sense to you? So we have a variety of rosters with KPA. Then UFL is just unified elves, just so you can mix and match what kind of blitzers you want. Maybe you want a union blitzer, or you might want a war dancer instead. For instance, a witch elf that feels like a blitzer that's listed as a catcher just for more team variety. But these teams aren't going to be playing that UFL team this season with a quick snap off the kickoff, but they will be playing season 2. And that's when we'll see the very first Blood Bowl Champions League, which is like what you would see the UEFA League in European soccer, which is all of the leagues in Europe, top leagues anyways, will send their champion. What's interesting with that is you can enter that tournament by either winning the preseason tournament for your league or winning the regular season, being number 1 in the standings for your league. And there'll be rewards at the end of the season for either or, alongside most prolific offense, that sort of thing, best defense. So that's just a bit of fun. Besides that, there'll be wild cards from your league that will get in. With only the UFL and KPA, it'd be a 4-team round robin then with no knockout round. But once we have 4 leagues running, that would be the IBA that you'll see in season 2, and the TSC, which is the human variation, not elf variation of the UFL. With Dauntless, he gets 2 dice, and he rightfully, he doesn't mind eating that both down because I believe this guy had dodge of all things. No, he didn't. Maybe he chooses the result to still up dice. probably not very safe right there, but nonetheless, a strength 7 piece might be worth tagging a few guys just to make him more safe. That's pretty good. That's a knockout too. Knockout, they're both down to 10 people on the roster. But in any case, when you think about it that way, with the 4 leagues, there'll be 4, 6, 8 automatic qualifiers. There you have 2 groups, right? Then I would say that you would also should have wild cards. And I want at least to have 4 groups. So each of the 4 groups would have either the tournament winner at the beginning of the season or a regular season champion. So that'll be fun once we get to that stage. But always the champion of either the tournament or the regular season will be considered a number 1 seed. Everyone else is determined by record, including that regular season champion. So the wild cards might be maybe you place 3rd. There's no Division 2s. Probably the league that has the most excitement I've seen is the Secret League Draft League, the KPA, that we could legitimately have a Division 2 players joining this. All I've seen, it's much harder to keep the Elf Draft League going, even though there was a lot of interest initially in joining the league vocally, whereas people had to learn what a draft league was to do KPA, but we see a lot more people interested in, like, can I join when Season 2 starting? We would need to draft 6 more people, and the thing is, just with me being the sole admin that's active, I'm focused on filling up the 4 leagues before I even consider drafting for a Division 2. I could probably get a Division 2 going. It's just that at the time of this recording, I'm recruiting for the IBA. Once I get 6 guys, reliable dudes in that IBA, then I'll do the TSC. As you can see, it's hard enough to recruit for 1 league, and I can recruit fairly quickly. It's just if I'm recruiting for multiple leagues at once, it gets confusing. And I've tried to recruit for both leagues at once. With 4 strength, he's just a very good player. He might be his team captain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's his team captain. This guy could be a team captain. He's so good. Veskrit Puke Mange. But at this point, you see the Profane Pustules have a lot of field control here. I don't even know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can tag a very low percentage tag with Mr. Reed Pildor. I feel like I've used a random name generator for all the drafts besides KPA and UFL. I think that my names are more creative than the random name generator. Now the names are kind of like meh, but it's faster to generate players just sort of subordinating myself to the name generator. So that's probably what I'm going to do, because I can shoot out a draft list in an evening or through the span of 48 hours. Of course, it's not going to take 48 hours to do it, but just by allowing the name generator to work, just like I use the dice generator to work for me, it just makes things so much faster, as he has fend, dodge, and sidestep. He's a really great ball carrier. Touchdown, Praag, Profane Pustules, as we see the first touchdown of the season in the KPA. If the Profane Pustules can hold off the Salzenmund Slayers and have a 1-0 shutout, they do get bonus points on the season. For Season 1 only, we've used CAS differential to affect the standings. Very, very too much. It's just too swingy. Season 2 is just going to be wins, draws, and then these bonus points for shutouts and blowouts. A blowout is any 3-point deficit. So, for instance, a 4-1 win is still a blowout. Oh, there he goes. He's killed. 3-0, you get a blowout and a shutout, as you can imagine, because no point was scored by our opponent, but still a 3-point deficit. Even 5-0 would be the same thing. So if you're behind in the standings, you get a couple blowouts, a couple shutouts. Theoretically, you could have someone with the same amount of losses as you. What I don't want is for a 2-loss team to get over a 1-loss team. And that kind of happened in the unified standings, not for the league standings at the end of the season. I already know the result of the season, so I'm just showing you all the games now to help recruit for the league. IBA primarily right now, but we have 3 to 4 guys out of the 6, and it's only been 1 to 2 weeks, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be filled. At a certain point, I can start recruiting for Division 2. And on the topic of Division 2, the only way that you would be able to be eligible for the Blood Bowl Champions League is if you win that tournament, because it's only the teams of your KPA league, for instance, or your UFL league are eligible. That includes Division 2, just like the FA Cup in England, in English football or English soccer. So, pow. Down he goes. It looks like he's stopped the drive here. It's I wouldn't count out the Slayers with the 4 Nations passing attack, and there is the handoff. Does this guy have nerves of steel? He does, so it's going to be a 3+ catch with reroll, which is just a human catcher. 4+ is crazy, though. It works. No need for a reroll, and no need for a reroll. Touchdown, Isabella, Iraq. And there goes your shutout. It is 1-1, and Salzenmund Slayers are in good shape because they will receive the kickoff in the second half. My channel, I've deleted all the videos. I'm restarting, rebranding into being a VTuber. I don't think I'll ever do a voice changer. I'm pretty happy with my voice as it currently stands. But it's just going to be primarily Blood Bowl and Fumble at that. And probably just my leagues, because then, like, doing a tournament, covering any match besides, like, your own team is pretty taxing. You know. There we go. Not worth going for it. Not worth rushing. He does have rerolls, though. Worth a reroll. He's not set up for a 1-turn touchdown, and he wasn't going to get it anyways. Technically, I've seen these plague sensor type or ball and chain users being able to help with a 1-turn touchdown, but you just don't have enough foot speed to get it done. So he's doing the right thing. He's trying to cause more CAS, more removals.
Ooh.
There is a foul appearance there, and that ends the turn. As the Praag, Profane, Pustules, and Salzenmund Slayers are tied up 1-1. There we go. But, you know, never fear. The Blood Bowl Championship League, that isn't the only tournament. Any team that does not qualify for that will have a knockout tournament. Okay? Just a straight-on knockout tournament. Once there's 4 leagues, there will be group stage for the BCL. But then there will be a knockout tournament after that. Standard per European football, let's say. So, there's guard on this guy, right? No? Just a vanilla player. Here come the Slayers. If each player has 2 squares of dispersion, you're still doing fine, even if you don't have a cage. Not that I would recommend that. But it's not the end of the world for someone to blitz your character, because he can always dump off. Everybody has nerves of steel. Some people are dedicated catchers. So you can do a lot here. And there is a Kaz, badly hurt. There we go. This is very risky. I do like that, though. It's not like you can dodge out. You know, why not throw it? Much better if you have block, to be honest. But nonetheless, that is force strength. He doesn't need an assist, so he won't. Yeah, nerves of steel, but he's still saying, I dare you to dodge out with 3+. And it's a good bet for the Profane Pustules. You can either be in a cage or you can hang back like this. With 2+ pass and cannoneer, you can throw pretty far downfield, so he's not so far out of play when he's this far back. You just have to rely on the pass like I would on my UFL team. That's completely viable. Oh, it's almost better just to keep him right here, you know? At the same time, keeping 2 guys on him is perfectly fine. This guy should probably just stay where he's at, though. This guy still can operate across the field, just, you know, limited. 3+ dodge out. It's not a good bet. I mean, it's not terrible, but you're going to have some troubles. Knockdown. There he goes. What's really funny is I made my avatar as masculine as possible, and he still looks like namby-pamby. Look, I can make my hair move there. Knockout. So just the format of the avatar that you can work with on Vroid Studio, it looks hyper effeminate. Like, I've really butched up this guy. So, you know, best I could do. 1 dicer. Probably better just to hold tight and assume. But with diving catch, he's the only target for a Hail Mary pass. And recalling, spectating this match, that is what he's trying to pull off, because he does have Hail Mary pass on that guy. This is great. I can, like, itch my hair. I mean, I could be picking my nose right now. Nobody would ever know. And that's a big deal for 23-minute long videos, you know? Down he goes with the block. Very strong. This is the only threat, since he has diving catch. This guy doesn't have diving catch. So he might be stomp worthy, honestly. Because he's going for the Hail Mary pass plus diving catch that you'd see in the 2016 rules apparently being abused. At the same time, though, it's possible, I think, to use Hail Mary pass. I've just never seen it in this rule set. I've never seen it in the past rule set either. I've just only heard that it was used, right? That's what he wants. Now he's tagging 2 again. He's really going to go for it, huh? It's still stunned. Bam! That's what he really wanted. Out he goes. That really ruins his day for the Salzenmund Slayers. Ouch. And he feels the need to push forward. I understand that. Stunner. There's just not enough players on the field for the Salzenmund Slayers. What looked like a 2-1 win has become a 1-2 loss. It feels like. That might be all that he can do. He's going for the foul. Not what he wanted, but, you know, he's not sent off either. So, not the end of the world. No reason to rush. Good job. No reason to rush. He's not necessarily cut off. He could go around the back here, but just a matter of time. And that's all he needs. He's out of dump off range, so he's just going to toss it. Still going to take his hit, though. Down he goes. Block on Vanilla. Vanilla meaning he doesn't have block or wrestle on him, or dodge. No defensive skills. Still a great thrower. Down he goes. Hopefully you don't hear the thunderstorm. Interesting rush. He likes it. Yep. No reason to foul. He's just controlling all the tackle zones. That's all he needs to do. He just needs to, oh, there's tentacles. It would have worked. That dodge out worked too. He just wants to clinch the 2-1 win. You know, it just became evident that he's in control of the game. Doesn't have much to worry about. It's the same sidestep fend dodge piece with block. You know, very great unit. Perfect draft pick. There's a block. I should look at which is the team captain. Team captain is a fun function that you see in Draft League Europe 2020. It's carried over here to this league. You just customize a player within some guidelines. For instance, you could have a thirdly skill is worth 40 TV that you otherwise would not have access to, right? So you wouldn't have access to the mutation clause on a Vampire Lord, right? But you can take the thirdly on your captain and take 2 primaries. And then you can have claws. But most people seem to take the 5 skills where one of those skills, well, 4 of the skills will be primaries, and then the 5th skill would be a stat up. That's what I see most common. That's how I did mine. So, badly hurt. The hits keep on coming. He's getting some Cavs points here. Plague Sensor. Good work. Yep. Wow. Just total field control. Not much the Slayers can do at this point. And both coaches know it. They're talking in the chat. You can't see it, but you know, they're definitely talking about it, like the game being over, more or less. Just from my memory of the match. And now it's for the touchdown. Touchdown, Praag, Profane, Pustules as they take the victory. 30 points on the standings. Why not? 2-1. That is the end of the game. Let's go ahead and look at the UFL then. Bye for now.